Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to talk about God again, and this time I actually wrote down some uh, topics, points that I kind of want to go through. What I think, or from my perspective, what has changed, and what I think that Call of Duty needs to do, or Activision, whoever the devs, anyone who's listening, needs to do to actually bring back the classic era of Call of Duty. So I went back and played COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2. And the first thing I want to talk about is attachments. There is way too many attachments. There's way too many attachments. It feels like it's oversaturated. I don't need 20 plus attachments to do the same thing. Just simplify it. It doesn't have to be this crazy. Um, the perk system used to be in the old Call of Duties were legit, and they made Call of Duty what it was. Um, the only reason that I'm bringing this up is because I was playing the current Modern Warfare 3, and I looked through over all the attachments that were for these weapons, and it's just insane. The the only reason that I play that game is because of the OG playlist. That's the only reason. Other than that, I usually cannot play more than one game, two. And I just think every attachment is literally the same. It may not be a big deal to many, but I think it's just oversaturated, and anyone looking to play this game is not going to enjoy that. Spending 20 more minutes or so just trying to figure out what they need is kind of annoying. Another thing that I want to talk about is maps. Maps, old Call of Duty maps, they were three-lane designs were the standard. The fact that it forced you to fight, it made you feel more engaging. It made it feel more engaging because you weren't looking in the most random places for a gunfight. The spawn systems made sense. You weren't having to worry whether someone was spawned right behind you, although occasionally that would happen. There were some spawns near, but it wasn't always the case. I think this also has something to do with how fast we move now. Uh, Players move way too fast, and I think that this is what causes spawn points to be so broken in newer CODs. I don't know. I may be wrong, but that's what I think from playing, going back and playing, and then playing, the most recent stuff. Uh, Another thing, I don't think this is such a big deal, but this is probably something that I kind of liked about Call of Duty. Uh, the guns were kind of a real reflection of real world weapons. I wouldn't say this is a deal breaker, but it's just something that playing a different title, like for example Modern Warfare 2, and then playing Black Ops, noticing the differences of the same weapons in both games for their set time was awesome to me personally. Um, I don't know. That was just a cool little thing that I recognized that there was always, I don't know, weapons just feel like there's way too many now, and you just don't know what is what. I guess that's okay to have a lot, but a variety of weapons. Every game had a variety, but it was always their set, weapons for that game. Um, let's see. And there's other things that I kind of want to talk about or bring up. Uh, just overall, like the way that you know how everything is kind of played out in the game flow nowadays. Like back then, you used to have to learn mechanics, spawns, and map flows, and now it's just a small square where everybody just slides around and shoots themselves, at shoots each other. Sorry, they go around and they shoot each other, and it's like it's just pointless to me. The only skill gap is movement. There is no teamwork. There's no team effort. There's never anything that like requires you to have to actually think, right? Before you kind of had to learn the spawns, the flow, the mechanics of the game. There was always a consequence for making a move in the game. Uh, and I may be wrong on that, but That's what I felt. At least when I played with my friends and stuff like that, we kind of had to always kind of figure out a plan of how we wanted to do things, right? Uh, Also, you know, the the fact that, like I mentioned last time, the cycle. I think this cycle has like kind of created a space where we have a release every year, and we don't even get to just kind of enjoy that release. We have one game and one title every single year, right? And we only get to play it for that year, and then it's like we don't actually get to allow ourselves to play the game further and be like, wow, this is an awesome game, we or if it's not, usually they're not nowadays. But I think that that has to do with the life cycle of how Call of Duty games used to get dropped before. Those games used to get dropped every 3 to 4 years, and now it's just like every year. They never take the time to actually sit with ideas and come up with something great. I feel like they need to get back to the core of what made Call of Duty awesome and what made it successful, or something similar. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but I think that they need to really take the time to create something good, not just force something out that's kind of half baked. I don't know. Uh, they try to compete with Fortnite, uh, which is fine by me, but I think that that also kind of pushes them to lack in other areas, like the multiplayer, you know, side of things, where you play to the arcade side. Like that was what I enjoyed. That's what I grew up on, and it was always fun. Now I don't have that fun. It's just not fun. Like it's not. Everybody's just jumping around, sliding, slide canceling, whatever it's called. I don't even care. It's just not fun to me. You feel like you're in a square box. Every map feels like it's just it's not it's not as creative as it used to be. And yes, there were a lot of problems with older titles. I'm not going to lie about that, but that's what made them good, honestly. Sometimes some of those games were actually fun to play because they just had that. It was cool. Um, I feel like it's just multiplayer, create map creation, everything has just been abysmal. You're just in a tiny box and you're jumping around, sliding, and I feel like they need to get back to their roots of what made them great. But that's all I have for today. I'll probably end up making more, and I hope you guys liked the video. So like, subscribe, whatever. If you have any suggestions, comment below.